We begin the meeting this morning by acknowledging the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. And acknowledging this reminds us that the great standard of living that we enjoy in Niagara is directly related to the resources and friendships of the Indigenous people who make up our community. I'll go through roll call. Just say here, Member D'Angela.
Present.
Member Eek. Okay, Dave, we'll take that as you're here.
Here.
Member Gale.
I'm present, thanks.
Member Gibson.
Here.
Member Lawson.
Here.
Member McKendrick.
Here.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest? Okay. Adoption of minutes. Board, we have two sets of minutes. We have the minutes of the public board meeting held Thursday, September the 23rd, 2021. Minutes of the Public Finance Committee meeting held October 14th, 2021. I'm going to have members D'Angela and Eek move that the minutes of these meetings be adopted as circulated. Any questions on either of those? Anyone opposed to that? Those are carried. Chair's report. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome Ron LeClaire. Just trying to see where, there's Ron. Okay.
Good morning.
To the meeting. Ron is with the Inspectorate of Policing at the Ministry of the Solicitor General, and he serves as Policing Services Advisor to police boards in Ontario. He is at our meeting today as part of routine visits by police services advisors to police boards across the province, and we're pleased to see his continued attendance at our meetings. On Sunday, September the 26th, Vice Chair Eek, Member Lawson, and myself joined Chief of Police Brian McCullough at police headquarters for a ceremony to commemorate the annual Canadian Police and Peace Officers Memorial Service to honor those brave men and women who have died in the line of duty. Board members virtually attended the Canadian Association of Police Governance 2021 annual conference, which was held from September the 28th to the 30th. The conference theme was Reimagining Community Safety and Wellbeing, Inspiring Change. And the program featured a strong, diverse group of speakers, including the Federal Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness, the Privacy Commissioner of Canada, the Inspectorate of Policing, and other leaders in the field of policing and police governance. The Canadian Association of Police Governance hosts monthly webinars as part of its educational strategy to keep police boards and police executives across Canada apprised of issues currently impacting the policing community. On October the 12th, the board attended a webinar on the lessons learned from shifting the RCMP to a municipal police service, which was hosted by the Surrey, BC Police Board. The monthly webinar in November is entitled Police Recruiting, Developing the Most Effective Strategy for a Reflective Service. Further webinar details, including confirmation of the date, time, and connection links, will be provided to the board when available. Board members attended the Public Sector Network's second annual Safer Cities virtual event on September the 28th to discuss key strategies for creating and maintaining safe and resilient cities. On October the 27th, the Public Sector Network also hosted a webinar on building resilience to insider risk, which explored ways to boost security and compliance while leveraging the best prevention and detection tools. The Public Sector Network events provide opportunities to bring together key government leaders, municipalities, policymakers, law enforcement, and other stakeholders to share best practices that foster community well-being. On October the 6th and October the 20th, board members and staff participated in the equity, diversity, and inclusion training sessions that were provided to the Niagara Regional Police senior leadership team. The training was delivered and facilitated by an anti-racism, equity, inclusion expert, Rumina Morris, who provided engaging and interactive sessions to bridge the gap between the vision of being an inclusive organization and actioning those goals in an intentional and strategic manner. On October the 6th, the Ontario Association of Police Service Boards held their Zone 4 quarterly meeting. Zone 4 consists of a total of 14 police services including municipal and OPP contract boards or First Nations police governance bodies that are located within the regions of the counties of Brant, Haldimand, Halton, Hamilton, Niagara, Norfolk, and Oxford. These quarterly engagements allow boards within a certain geographic area to meet for the purpose of discussing matters related to police governance. On October the 20th, I joined Chief McCullough and Deputy Chief Flynn at the Kristen French Child Advocacy Center, Niagara's Spotlight Gala, held at the Americana Resort in Niagara Falls. The gala commemorated the ongoing work being done throughout our local communities to help our children and youth who have either witnessed or been victims of physical or sexual abuse, or that have been subjected to acts of internet luring, or were the unwilling witness of violence. On November the 18th, the Ontario Association of Police Service Boards will hold their 2021 Labor Conference, which will be virtually from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. The program will provide learning opportunities about the labor relations landscape across Ontario, police executive contracts, discussion on employer challenges with the WSIB, updates regarding the Community Safety and Policing Act, and provide further insights into diversity, equity, inclusion, and police hiring practices. Board members interested in attending are asked to contact board staff for registration details. The Niagara Region and Police Services Joint Steering Committee meeting scheduled for October the 26th was canceled, and the next meeting is scheduled for November the 23rd for consideration of the final report closing out the project. This is for one district facility in St. Catharines. Further updates will be provided to the board at its November the 25th meeting. Deputy Chair Eek, do you have anything to add to this with regards to District 1? David, anything to add with regards to District 1?
Thank you, Chair. No, nothing at this point. We're still looking forward to a public open house in the future to showcase our date as soon as possible. Thank you.
Great, thanks. There are no committee meetings scheduled in November, and the next board meeting will be held Thursday, November the 25th at 9 a.m., which Vice Chair Eek will be chairing as I'll be away. The meeting will be held by electronic participation through Zoom. Members of the board, any questions with regards to the chair's report? Member Gale.
Thank you, Chair, and I apologize. There's two things. The first one's an easy one, but I should have brought this up to Dave at another date. I've had a couple people say to me the new number 1 division, they can't see the sign going down the street. I'm just putting that out there, Chief. They don't know it's a police station until you're standing in front of it. If it's not a concern to you, it's not to me, but and I see it when I drive by it, that unless you're right in front of it, you don't know it's a police station and the sign isn't lit up to speak of. Any comments on this?
Chief?
Thank you, Chair, and Member Gale. I've not had those concerns brought to me prior to this morning, but I know that there were some concerns with regards to variances and whatnot, given the close proximity to the sidewalk and roadway there. So
Okay.
that may play a factor in where the signage is posted in front of the building.
Okay, I leave it in your capable hands. And I'm sorry, Dave, I should have brought this up to you on another day, but I just was thinking of it now when you brought up the report.
I will speak with the Public Works and at the region and see what their thoughts are on the issue and determine whether or not action should be taken and report back.
Thank you for that. And Chair, I have a question for Ron Leclerc. Should I save that for new business or now? It's your call.
Ron, are you going to be on for the whole meeting?
Yes, sir. I will be on for the whole meeting.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
wait
save it for new business.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay, no further questions. Chief, your report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, board members and staff. I'm pleased to announce that the Niagara Regional Police Service Auxiliary Officer Program has reopened and a recruitment drive has begun. As a risk mitigation strategy, the auxiliary program duties and recruitment had been suspended throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The auxiliary officer program is a great volunteer opportunity for members of our auxiliary unit to serve and ultimately give back to their community. The program has also historically been proven to be a means for persons wishing to pursue a career as a sworn police officer to obtain valuable real-life experience and exposure to what it means to police in our community. Successful candidates will receive law enforcement training and will be able to assist the service in a variety of capacities at community events throughout Niagara. With an authorized auxiliary officer strength of 75 officers, the service hopes to recruit approximately 40 new auxiliary officers to commence their local training in 2022. Information regarding the recruitment drive and requirements can be found on our website, www.niagarapolice.ca, for anybody that's interested. With regards to our 2021 homicide and attempt homicide statistics, during the reporting period of September 21st to October 25th, there were no homicides and there were no attempt murders. To date, in 2021, we have had 6 homicides and 2 attempt murders. Comparatively, in 2020, we had 5 homicides, 3 attempt murders. 2019, we had 7 homicides and 2 attempt murders. 2018, we had 2 homicides and 8 attempt murders. And in 2017, we had 3 homicides and 3 attempt murders. As far as traffic fatalities and serious injury collisions, there were 2 fatal motor vehicle collisions and 1 life-threatening injury motor vehicle collision during the month of September. To date, in 2021, we have had 20 fatal collisions. Comparatively, we had 16 in 2020, 13 in years 2019 and 2018, and then we had 16 in each of 2017 and 2016. Some information regarding the fatal collisions. On Friday, September the 3rd at approximately 3:56 p.m., officers responded to a report of a collision involving 2 motor vehicles and a transport truck on Victoria Avenue at Spring Creek Road in the town of Lincoln. Investigation determined that an 80-year-old female was operating her vehicle eastbound on Spring Creek Road and failed to stop for the posted stop sign at Victoria Avenue. The vehicle entered Victoria Avenue into the path of a southbound pickup truck being operated by a 50-year-old male. The pickup truck was redirected into the path of a northbound tractor trailer as a result of the initial collision. The female was ejected from her vehicle as a result of the collision and sustained life-threatening injuries, and she remains in hospital. The 50-year-old male was found vital signs absent inside of his vehicle and sadly was pronounced deceased at the scene. The operator of the tractor trailer, a 22-year-old male, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. This matter remains under investigation by our collision reconstruction unit. Another incident on Friday, September the 17th, 2021 at approximately 4:48 p.m. Uniformed members responded to a report of a motor vehicle collision at Scott Street West and Hiscott Street in St. Catharines. Investigation determined that a 36-year-old male reversed his pickup truck out of a driveway. Simultaneously, a 32-year-old male of no fixed address was operating a motorcycle at a high rate of speed westbound on Scott Street. The motorcycle collided with the pickup resulting in serious injuries to the motorcycle operator. The operator was transported to hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. The driver of the pickup truck was not injured. And this incident also remains under investigation by detectives from our collision reconstruction unit. And on Wednesday, September 1st, 2021, at approximately 6:29 a.m., uniformed members responded to a report of a serious motor vehicle collision involving two motor vehicles on Casterville Road, south of Concession 3 Road in the town of West Lincoln. Investigation determined a vehicle being operated by a 20-year-old male was traveling northbound on Casterville Road when it collided with a southbound vehicle being operated by a 46-year-old male. Both males were transported to hospital sustaining life-threatening injuries, and this collision also remains under investigation by the Collision Reconstruction Unit. A few items in the news. On October 6th, 2021, at approximately 8:30 p.m., an officer with our traffic enforcement unit stopped a car in the area of Lundy's Lane and Kaler Road in Niagara Falls to investigate a possible impaired driver. While standing at the side of the road with the driver, an unknown male who had no connection at all to the traffic stop approached the officer. The unknown male began to video record, yell, and swear at the officer. The male was cautioned against obstructing the impaired investigation and told to move back. The male then spat in the officer's face. The male resisted arrest before being placed inside of a police cruiser, where he continued to be combative and kicked another officer in the chest. Fortunately, none of the officers were injured. The male is now facing 5 charges in total, including obstruct police officer and assault police officer. On Monday, October the 11th, at 2:33 p.m., detectives from St. Catharines began an investigation into mischief that occurred at 92 Geneva Street. Investigation revealed that on Sunday, October 10th, 2021, an unknown male attended the Salem Chapel British Methodist Episcopal Church and allegedly intentionally damaged the Harriet Tubman statue. As a result of the investigation, detectives were able to identify the suspect, who was subsequently arrested on October 13th. Detectives have been working closely with the Salem Chapel British Methodist Episcopal Church to address the concerns. At this time, there's no indication that the vandalism was a result of a hate-motivated crime, and the service continues to provide the Crown with any pertinent details that are relevant to the investigation. And obviously, anybody that has information regarding this incident, we would certainly like to hear from them in that regards. And Mr. Chair, that concludes my report this morning. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions with regards to the police chief's report? Seeing none. We do not have any presentations today. On to item 7, consent agenda. We have items 7.1 through to 7.7. I'm going to have members Gale and Gibson move that the information be received. Are there any questions on any of those items? Seeing none. Anyone opposed? That'll be carried. Under new business, item 8.1, the Regional Municipality of Niagara updated land acknowledgement statements, moved by members Lawson and McKendrick, that the board adopt the use of the Niagara Region land acknowledgement statements for the Police Services Board and Niagara Regional Police Service as outlined in the report and as may be amended from time to time. And further, that the short version be recited at board and committee meetings on a go-forward basis. Any questions? Anyone opposed? That's carried. Item 8.2, Police Services Board 2022 proposed meeting schedule, moved by members Eek and member Gale, that the board approve the schedule of regular meetings for the Niagara Regional Police Services Board and committee meetings for the year 2022 as presented. Any questions? Anyone opposed? That's carried. Item 8.3, the special fund request out of the cold dinner program, moved by members Gibson and member Lawson, that the board approve a donation in the amount of $500 from the special fund to the out of the cold dinner program. Any questions? Seeing none, Anyone opposed? That's carried. Thank you, members. Other new business, Member Gale.
Right, Chair, I didn't expect this quickly. So through you to Ron, and to refresh the board, you recall the conversation I had when Inspector Devin Clunas, the Inspector General of Policing, was being introduced to us, and I seized that moment to bring up about what we do at the region, Chair, about confidential items. I think it's under the Municipal Act that we have to highlight what we're going to talk about and be sensitive to what we're exposing and what we highlight. So on it. So I brought that up with regards to our items, and this was as a result of, without going too far in this, an item that the press wanted to know we were talking about, but no one knows as a police board that we're discussing any of these matters. And I know from being inside the police board that we're pretty efficient here, and I trust the chief, and I've said that the last time on this, but I'm doing it, bringing this up for the future. So I sent an email as instructed or as advised to Devin Clunas, and Ron got back to me on it, more or less saying as a police board. And Ron, I know all these items. I've been on the police board for now, I guess, 7 years, that we can bring it up as a bylaw to us. But I was bringing this up for the province, for lack of better words, because I trust this board and I trust the police. But down the way, I'd like to know that in confidential, that the police are discussing certain things on all boards throughout Ontario. So I know that we can make a board bylaw, and that board bylaw can be changed down the way if it ever is. But I was bringing this up, Ron, so that legislation can be changed, that we follow what regional councils and municipal councils have to do on this with regards to bringing up from a high level items that are being discussed in confidential. So I'm going to keep my powder, well, I'm saying powder dry is probably wrong on this, but I'm going to stand down on this, and I'll wait till another provincial forum on this to bring it up, Ron, because I get all the things you said. Certainly we can change it. I know all about that stuff, but I was doing this from a province standpoint, Ron, so I'll accept your comments, whatever you wish. I appreciate you getting back to me.
Great. Thanks, Member Gale. Ron?
Yeah, I will make a brief comment. So the response that I provided you was specifically based on the Police Services Act as it stands today. I didn't venture into the changes that are going to occur during the CSPA when that comes into effect. There are differences in terms of meeting structure and meeting reporting. And if you wish, I can provide a response to you in terms of where the CSPA is going and what is going to be contained in that legislation as it stands now, if that is something that the chair and the rest of the board would like to see.
If it touches the matter that I'm talking about, Ron, certainly, and I defer to Bill, the chair, on this, but I'll wait. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Ron. If you want to send that through to Deb, and then Deb can get it out to us, that'd be great. Yeah, any new information would be fantastic. And I know where Bob's going with this, because we both of us have served many years on local councils and now in the police services. But there is some huge differences between some of the things we speak about in camera on a municipal level compared to the policing level. So I know we have to be careful there, but there probably are issues that can be shown with a line in advance, like Member Gale stated with regards to the municipal side of things. So yeah, if you could supply so that then as we move forward as a board, and if anything that we need to change, we can certainly look at it at that time. So thank you.
Yep.
Anything
Okay.
further, Bob?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. Any other new business? Okay, seeing none. Item 10, in-camera reports. These are for public release from the September the 23rd, 2021 in-camera meetings. We have items 10.1, Police Services Board draft operating budget for 2022. Item 10.2, the Special Investigations Unit, case number 20-OFI-360, incident of December 25th, 2020. I'm going to have members McKendrick and D'Angelo move that in accordance with board direction, the above noted in-camera reports be received for public information. Any questions on either of those? Anyone opposed? That's carried. Okay, give me a second here. So it's now 9:25, board members and staff. If we could meet at 9:30 for the confidential agenda, I'll now move that this meeting be adjourned. Thank you.